Hi everyone, welcome to Writer's Corner. I'm Radrani and I'm from Tilsley Creative Writers. And once again, I'll be reading another chapter from this book. Lessons from the Ramayana by Sri Chaitanya. And in this video, I'll be reading lesson 3 and I hope you like it. So here we go. Lesson 3. Learn to be kind. The godlier a man is, the kindlier he will be to the low and the weak. In these days of hardship, the plight of the average man is pitiable. An average man is one who has to stand in queue for each and everything under the shadow of shortage and scarcity. But the fortunate few at the helm have the rare hardihood to overlook the hardship of the poor and the low. A poor man may desire to pour out his misery to the Lord, whom he has voted to power. But the elected Babu, engrossed in the enjoyment of undeserved status and riches, makes himself scarce to the common man. If such lords and Babus, catapulted to power, inspired by the noble example of Rama, take a leaf out of this book, milk and honey overflow in our land, turning it into paradise. Rama as king is not confined to his ivory tower. He goes to the forest as a common ascetic. He goes near the low and the weak. He makes himself available to them to worship him and adore him. Guha. Guha is a boatman. He thinks that to him, a poor and low-born wretch, nothing is more impossible than a darshan, seeing of Rama. But the wonder is his devotion to Rama, which grows and becomes intensified as he dwells on the virtues of Rama, has been rewarded. Rama pays a visit to him. He seeks his help to cross the Ganges. Guha is transported with joy. A thrill runs through his frame. Tears of joy trickle down his cheeks. In choked voice, he prays to Rama to grant him a favor. With an indulgent smile, Rama asks him to name it. Guha says thus, "My lord, this boat is the only means of my livelihood. Your feet have a magic touch by virtue of which a stone turned into a damsel. I am afraid the same magic power may also turn my boat into a girl. Then I shall be deprived of my means of livelihood. So permit me to wash your feet thoroughly and cleanse it of any magic power. My heart longs for a touch of your feet. Let me have that fortune of washing your feet." Rama sees through the ruse. He knows how eager Guha is to wash his feet in all devotion. Hence, he rewards his devotion by allowing him to wash his feet. As he washes the feet of Rama, he feels a thrill which Brahma felt, a thrill which Janaka felt. Guha desires to praise Rama for his godliness. Rama redeemed Ahalya's curse. Ahalya, who was transformed into a stone as a result of curse, regained her former form, glory and beauty at the mere touch of Rama's feet. This was Rama's feat of godliness, which reclaimed Ahalya to virtue and honor. In his efforts to praise this trait of Rama, Guha, in his own characteristic way, weaves it into plea or excuse to touch his holy feet and wash them. Rama is pleased with his devotion and obliges him. The godlier a man is, the kindlier is he to the low and the weak. The so-called great and the powerful in this world shower favors on the low and the weak in consideration of the credit that it would bring them. Those who have a ray of godliness in them shower favors on the needy in a most natural way without claiming credit for it. After crossing the river, Rama looks at Sita in an expressive way. She understands Rama's intention and gives Guha a costly jewel as fare. In all devotional fervour, Guha says, "Sir, I do not need any fare. I appear to have helped you cross this petty river, while you really help countless devotees cross the terrible ocean of mundane existence. The memory of this happy moment of my laving your feet is itself enough for me to afford joy throughout my life." Lord Rama embraces him and confers on him a fortune which even the Lord of Heaven envies. Such is the power of devotion, and such is the greatness of Rama, to recognize it even in the low, the humble and the weak who are so, as per the standards of this material world. Sabari. It is within the common experience of any person how he offers food to God first and then he eats it. It is called Naivedyam. We eat as prasadam what is offered to God as Naivedyam. But a few may question whether God actually tastes what we have put before him in a plate with recitation of mantras. If anybody says that God has partaken of the sweets he has put before the image or shrine, we cannot help smiling. Our smile expresses our scientific notion that God does not eat, and it is only our devotion that pictures a semblance of God's tasting the food we have placed before him in all reverence, love, and gratitude. Anyhow, God's acceptance of our Naivedyam is not visible to the human eye. The greater the devotion is, the greater is a feeling that God has sanctified the food by tasting it or touching it. We also believe that the food so sanctified is prasadam, by eating which we become freed of our ailments or ill feelings. Naturally, the more exposed a man is to scientific ideas, the less will be his belief in these matters. Yet, the principle or moral or idea cannot be doubted or disproved. The principle is that God responds to love. If God does not appear before us in flesh and blood, it does not prove the non-existence of God. God's appearance depends on his will and pleasure. If we are in a room, whether we like to be seen or not, the visitor can see us. Hiranyakashipu went to Vaikuntham to see Lord Vishnu in order to fight with him, but God was not visible to him. We often hear a joke. Someone said, "If God is very merciful and kind-hearted, why cannot he come and appear before us?" His friend replied, "God is no doubt merciful and kind-hearted. He also wants to appear before you. But if he does appear, you may burst into anger, saying, 'Is there no time sense or propriety for these street actors begging in the guise of gods?'" This joke apart, the idea conveyed to us is that unless we are eligible by virtue of our devotion and faith for seeing God, God does not appear before us. We gain eligibility to see God only by proper practice of devotion. The idea that God responds to the wish of the devotee cannot be disputed. Sabari illustrates this idea. Sabari has not the advantage of high birth, education, or training in spiritual role, yet she has faith and devotion. She is confident that Rama with his brother Lakshmana will visit her. She desires to serve Rama the sweetest fruits available. She has been picturing in her mind the arrival of Rama. She sees in her mind the charming countenance of Rama, his broad chest, lotus-like eyes, long arms radiating beauty and strength. She tastes the fruits to be served and thus selects the sweetest. A learned saint or sage may think such types of selection through tasting as polluted leftover or yengili. But to the simple-minded and backward tribal woman, it does not strike as unholy and polluted to serve fruits already tasted. God in human form is dear to human beings. It is much more so to the boya tapasvi, Sabari, as Rama in flesh and blood appears near and dear to her. Her heart leaps in joy and hospitality to entertain the royal guest. The more she imagines Rama with human tastes and pull of palate, the more is her avidity to make the fare which he partakes of the sweetest and the best. Rama, who sees not the richness of the fare, but the richness of devotion behind it, eats it with relish those fruits served by her in a state of ecstasy. Perhaps Lord, in Krishna avatar, while munching the parched rice given by Kuchala, is put in mind of the taste of Sabari's fruits. Better a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred herewith. Even ordinary mortals choose simple fare served with love, but not a feast without love. Sabari's fruits are more than ambrosia to Lord Rama. Rama rewards Sabari's devotion and preaches her divine wisdom. Sabari's story teaches us that it is not social status, riches, or ostentatious religion that wins God's favour. It is only devotion, pure and simple. The squirrel. In any appeal to charity, often goes the expression, "Please contribute your mite." The construction of a floating bridge on the foaming sea to reach Lanka is a stupendous task undertaken by the Vanara army. Mighty monkeys like Hanuman are able to hurl mountains into the sea. They vie with one another in their enthusiastic contribution to the huge construction. Then a squirrel, enchanted by Rama's radiance, goodness, and godliness, wishes to contribute its might to the mighty task. Its method is simple and amusing. It immerses its body in the water. It then rolls on the sand with its body wet. Sand sticks to her wet body. Then it springs onto the bridge and shakes its body so that the sand may fall on the bridge and make it smooth. It repeats this process endlessly and catches the merciful eye of Rama. Rama gathers the squirrel with his loving hands into his lap and passes his magnetic fingers on its body. The token of divine touch is seen on all squirrels, a golden impress of Rama's gratitude even to the humblest. This is, in a nutshell, the story of the celebrated squirrel becoming proverbial for its humble devotion. Vrta Bhakti. What does this story teach us? It shows how a great man, despite his heights of glory, deigns to acknowledge even the humblest service. Disposition to show gratitude, irrespective of its being politic, is a sign of true greatness. In this context, the famous words of Samuel Jackson are quotable. Gratitude is a fruit of cultivation. You do not find it among gross people. Benevolence is a distinguishing characteristic of Rama. His benevolence flows not only to fellow human beings, but also to bird and beast. In short, he extends it to every creature that exists, however low it may be. Never is he weary to dry up tears or soothe the sad. Jatayu. Jatayu is a bird. It belongs to the category of birds which are ugly, carnivorous, and avaricious. One hardly expects wisdom or devotion from such a bird. But by a stroke of luck, the bird Jatayu conceives love and reverence for Rama. Rama recognizes devotion in a person, ignoring in him other drawbacks, if any. Jatayu is full of joy when he is blessed with a sight of Rama. The beauty and goodness of Rama captivate the bird. He is full of admiration for Rama, and he loses himself in adoration and service of Rama. Jatayu's devotion is twofold. Like any other celebrated devotee, He chants the name of Rama and cherishes Rama's figure in his heart. Besides that, he wants to do service to Rama. It is a rare privilege for him to serve Rama. His devotion finds its outlet in selfless service. When he meets Rama, he says humbly to him thus, "My Lord, I am here at your beck and call. I am your servant. I deem it an honor to die in your service. I shall safeguard Sita whenever you and your brother happen to be away from the ashram." These words are prophetic. Something in him prompts him to utter the words, "I deem it an honor to die in your service." It really happens so. Jatayu sees Ravana flying in the air with Sita in his chariot. He stops Ravana. Ravana is young, energetic, and he is equipped with weapons. But Jatayu is old and he has no weapons. His wings and claws are the only weapons. Yet Jatayu fights bravely, wounding Ravana. Ravana wonders at the power of Jatayu. He little knows that it is the spirit of devotion and faith in the success of righteous cause that give power to his strokes of wings and piercing of claws. When he is almost defeated, Ravana, in a desperate bid, takes his sharp-edged magic sword and cuts off the wings of Jatayu. Jatayu lies helpless, bleeding and gasping. Ravana resumes his flight and carries Sita with him. Rama and Lakshmana, while searching for Sita, happen to see Jatayu in his last moments chanting the holy name of Rama. He, with his dying breath, informs Rama of all he has done to save Sita from the clutches of Ravana. Rama, in his magnanimity, offers to restore Jatayu to life. But Jatayu says, "My lord, I am very fortunate in that you are before me while I am breathing my last. If I have a fresh lease of life now, can I get such a golden chance again? He who has your name on his lips while dying will never be born again. He will attain liberation, mukti. Now you yourself are before my eyes. Looking on you, I wish to die and attain mukti. Can there be more glorious death than mine now?" With tears of joy, he is freed from mortal coil and reaches the brighter worlds. It goes without saying that he experiences no death pangs thanks to the holy presence of Rama. What does the story of Jatayu teach us? Jatayu represents good men who fight for a good cause. A man may die in the fight for the cause, but the cause never dies. Subsequent strivers may continue the fight and ultimately the cause wins. A martyr is one who dies in the fight for a good cause. He dies only to live. He becomes immortal after his death. Rama showers his affection on Jatayu and blesses him with liberation. It happens that when a man who espouses a noble cause dies during its pursuit, all those who hold the cause dear praise him and build memorials for him. They thus make his fame immortal. That is a blessed state of immortality. His example inspires several others to fight evil. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for the good men to do nothing. If good men combine and put up a united fight, evil can be rooted out. Ravana is dreadful. He strikes terror. But Jatayu is able to turn that terror into triumph by a brave fight. His example teaches the good men to change their fear into fight through faith in the cause they take up. Rama is noble, generous and merciful. His example inspires one and all and puts the erring humanity on the path of righteousness. His nectarine smile, benign look, healing touch, and kind word lift even the lowest and the humblest to the heights of glory and divinity. It is quite fitting to conclude this lesson with the words of Cicero. In nothing do men nearly approach the gods than in doing good to their fellow men. The end. That was the end of lesson 3, and I hope you liked it. Please click like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video when I'll be reading lesson 4. Thank you. Bye.